The Zelkari warfleet descended upon Outpost Meridian like a metallic storm, their obsidian hulls blotting out the pale light of the system's twin suns. Admiral Kextar watched from his flagship's command deck as 300 vessels arranged, themselves in a perfect sphere around the tiny human station, a formation that had crushed a dozen civilizations before. Pathetic, he chittered through his mandibles. The human outpost was little more than a collection of metal cylinders welded together, barely the size of his smallest frigate. 15 humans lived there. He'd counted them through his sensors. 15 souls against his armada of 50,000 warriors. Kextar opened a communication channel. Human station, you are surrounded. Surrender immediately or face annihilation. The response came in that strange melodic language the humans used. The translation matrix rendered it in cool, professional tones. Negative, Admiral. Outpost Meridian does not surrender. Kextar's 4 eyes dilated in amusement. These humans were either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. In his experience with their species, it could be either. Very well, he transmitted back. You have chosen extinction. But something nagged at the back of his tactical mind. In the 3 years since first contact, humanity had proven unusual. They'd lost every major engagement against the Zelkari Empire, yet somehow their resistance had only grown stronger. Their fleets were scattered, their worlds burning, yet here was this insignificant outpost refusing to yield. Kextar pushed the thought aside. All ships, target the station, prepare to fire on my Admiral. His sensor officer's voice cracked, with panic. New contacts, massive signature directly behind us. The tactical display exploded with warnings. Where empty space had existed moments before, something enormous was materializing. The gravitational readings were impossible. The mass signature rivaled a small moon. What is that thing? Kextar demanded. Through the swirling distortion of a collapsing hyperspace tunnel, emerged a structure that defied comprehension. It was a sphere, perfectly smooth and unmarked, easily 10 kilometers in diameter. But what sent ice through Kextar's circulatory fluid was its composition. The sphere appeared to be constructed entirely of compressed matter, neutronium, the stuff of dead stars. Admiral, came the human voice again, and now Kextar detected something he hadn't heard before. Amusement. Meet the UHDF Mjolnir. She's been waiting in folded space for your arrival. The massive sphere began to move, impossibly graceful for something so vast. As it rotated, millions of pinpricks of light became visible across its surface, weapon ports beyond counting. Kextar's tactical officer was hyperventilating. Sir, that ship masses more than our entire fleet combined. The neutronium armor alone would require the matter from 3 star systems to construct. How did they? Humans don't fight fair, Admiral. The voice from Outpost Meridian interrupted his officer. We fight smart. While you've been conquering worlds and declaring victory, we've been learning, studying, building. The sphere, the Mjolnir, completed its rotation, revealing a section where the neutronium had been carved away in precise geometric patterns. Through these windows, Kextar could see the ship's interior, vast chambers filled with machinery that hurt to look at directly, as if the technology existed in dimensions his mind couldn't process. Impossible, he breathed. Your species doesn't have this level of technology. Your intelligence reports showed you what we wanted you to see, the human replied. Every battle you won, every ship you destroyed, every world you conquered, we were taking notes, learning your tactics, your technology, your weaknesses. Did you really think Outpost Meridian was just a research station? Kextar's blood ran cold. The outpost hadn't been conducting xenobiology research as their intercepted communications had indicated. It had been bait. A perfectly positioned lure to draw his entire fleet into one location. The Mjolnir isn't alone, Admiral, the human continued conversationally. Right now, identical vessels are materializing near every major Zelkari world. Your home fleet is surrounded by ships that could crack your planets like eggs. Your ground forces are facing technology that makes your plasma rifles look like stone knives. As if summoned by the human's words, Kextar's communication console lit up with desperate transmissions from across the Empire. Battle fleets screaming for reinforcement. Planetary governors reporting impossible human war machines appearing in their skies. The systematic collapse of everything the Zelkari had built over centuries. "How?" Kextar whispered. "You taught us," came the simple reply. "Every time you underestimated us, every time you left survivors, every time you thought you'd won, we learned. Humans don't just fight with ships and weapons, Admiral. We fight with time, with patience, with the understanding that sometimes you have to lose 100 battles to win the war." The Mjolnir had stopped moving, its massive bulk casting shadows across half the Zelkari fleet. Those millions of weapon ports began to glow with contained energy that made the space around them shimmer. "You wanted our surrender," the human said. "Here's our counteroffer. Stand down your weapons, withdraw your fleets from human space and return to your home worlds. In exchange, we'll let you live. You have 60 seconds to decide." Kextar stared at the tactical display showing his 300 ships dwarfed by the impossible human vessel. 300 ships that had conquered worlds, against one that could apparently destroy solar systems. He thought of his crews, his warriors, the Zelkari civilians on distant worlds now facing their own impossible human vessels. He thought of the Empire's proud military tradition, built on the subjugation of lesser species. Then he thought of the humans in that tiny outpost, calmly eating recycled rations while orchestrating the defeat of an empire from their metal cylinders. Humans who had turned their apparent weakness into the galaxy's greatest trap. "All ships," he transmitted on the fleet frequency, his voice hollow with defeat. "Stand down weapons, prepare for full withdrawal." The communication channel crackled one final time with human laughter. "Smart choice, Admiral. Oh, and Admiral, next time you think about invading someone's home, remember that humans have very long memories and even longer reach. Safe travels." As his fleet began its shameful retreat, Kextar couldn't help but reflect on the terrible irony. The Zelkari had sought to conquer the humans because they appeared weak, divided, and easy prey. They had been absolutely right. And that had been humanity's greatest weapon of all.